How about that for a November surprise? The Indianapolis Colts trade 2 first-round picks plus Adonai Mitchell for Sauce Gardner, one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. I know what you're going to do. You're going to go to ProFootballReference.com and you're going to look up Sauce Gardner and you're going to say, first-team All-Pro as a rookie and in his second year, and the subsequent 2 years, no first-team All-Pro status, no Pro Bowls. What the hell happened to this guy? Have we traded for damaged goods? The answer is no, and I'm going to tell you why. Why did the Colts give up on Adonai Mitchell? Adonai Mitchell broke the trust of the organization. And if you break the trust of Shane Steichen and Chris Ballard, you're done. It's over. That deal was done. Adonai Mitchell no longer being a Colt was done as soon as that dropped football escaped the end zone and became a touchback the other way. As soon as that happened at SoFi Stadium, Adonai Mitchell was as good as gone. And so he is, and in comes Sauce Gardner. And with Sauce Gardner, I hope he can play this weekend against the Atlanta Falcons in Germany. That would be optimum. You need him on the field. You got one more week without Charvarius Ward, Mooney Ward. Mooney Ward comes back. Sauce Gardner's there. You've got the first pair of bookend cornerbacks, shutdown cornerbacks in Indianapolis Colts history. I don't think Ray Buchanan and Ashley Ambrose were bookend lockdown quarterbacks. Raybu was pretty good. Ashley Ambrose, they called toast. And they called him that for a reason. This is Inside Indiana Sports Now for Tuesday, November 4th, 2025, brought to you by the great people at YouTube TV. Subscribe to YouTube TV. Do that right now, and you know what you're going to get? You are going to get if you do it through the link that will be in the show description as soon as we're done with this live, you're going to get $15 off your first month. Plus, if they don't have ESPN, ABC, and Disney back in a while, you're going to get a $20 rebate. What they're doing, the reason they're doing that, and they don't have ESPN, ABC, and Disney, is for you and for me. They're taking care of our money. They're not going to let Orlando or Bristol or any of these damn towns stroll into a conference room and take money of ours without a fight. And I dig that about YouTube TV. I'm glad to sponsor them. Also, want you to become a member. When you become a member, look at all the coverage you get, for God's sake. Plus, you get the members-only chat on Saturday mornings. Plus, you get, if you're an all-meal deal level member, you get an autographed copy of my book. I'll autograph it to anybody you want. You want to give it to somebody for Christmas? I'll autograph it to that person, send it to you, and off we go. Become a subscriber, and you become eligible. Now, subscribing is free. If you become a subscriber, you become eligible to win a prize. We have 4 more. We gave away an autographed Gary Brackett jersey yesterday. We've got 4 more coming. And I'm upgrading, I think. Upgrading to a current Colt from a former Colt. I'm swapping with somebody, a Paris Campbell, for somebody currently on the roster. So we're always working. We're always working deals to try to make your experience as a subscriber better. You also have to use, so that's the eligibility part. The eligibility part is, hey, you know what? You become a subscriber, you're eligible. To enter, you need to use the phrase that pays, and you can do that once per video. And the phrase that pays today is, hello, sauce. Or how about this? Sauce, please. Either of those will do. We have every reason to be really, really excited about Sauce Gardner coming to Indianapolis and playing cornerback for the Indianapolis Colts. This is a major upgrade, and it came at a price, and we're going to talk about that. Make sure and smash the like button. If you want to make a donation, no big whoop, but please include a comment or a question that will elevate the level of discourse on this channel. All right, Reed says, see you later, AD. Did not like him at Texas, and good riddance. We got Sauce. We will be sauced. Hello, Sauce. Yes. So here's Sauce Gardner. Here's a contract situation for Sauce Gardner. He's a cap hit this year of $625,000 for the remainder of the year. That isn't bad. That's not going to cause the Colts any financial distress. Next year, it's 9.5. That's still very manageable. And given the number of renegotiated contracts or pending free agents that need to be re-signed, they need to be a little bit austere. The next year, he counts $20.9 million toward the cap. Following year in 28, $26.2, and then in 29 and 30, he will count $36.1 million in each of those years against the cap. You can expect either he won't be here anymore or they're going to renegotiate that deal and spread that money over several years with a slight bump over the number of years on that extension. 6'3", 190 pounds. He was the 4th overall pick in 2022, the same draft that yielded Kwity Paye in the first round of the draft. He was the 21st overall pick. Sauce Gardner is a really, really good cornerback. And he has not been a disappointment as the number 4 overall pick, and that's why the Jets signed him to that massive extension at the end of last year. Colts are all in for this year, says Wayne, and they are. So, like I said, 6'3", 190, 4.41 speed at the combine. You put him out there with Mooney Ward and Kenny Moore, and you got Bynum, and you've got Cross. That's a hell of a secondary. I'll take that secondary and win playoff games for you. That's what Lou Anarumo is saying right now. They're not just trying to go to the playoffs. They're trying to win playoff games. They're trying to build a defense that's capable of stopping the Bills, stopping the Chiefs. And how much more interesting did that game after the bye in Kansas City become about 45 minutes ago? It became really, really interesting. Actually, it was almost an hour and a half ago. About an hour, close to an hour and a half. Really interesting. 2-time first-team All-Pro, 2022 Defensive Rookie of the Year, and a guy who, according to Pro Football Focus, is averaging 20.9 snaps per reception. So people just aren't targeting him. He's out there running routes with guys that he's trying to defend, and they're going away from him. And that's why Sauce Gardner is not getting more Pro Bowls and more first-team All-Pro designations. Colts are on an all-new level, Patrick Hausfeld says. Absolutely right. That is exactly what they are. They made the move. How about Chris Ballard having some stones? Hey, Chris Ballard, why'd I have to do that? You can't see it. Why did I just do that? Chris Ballard got this deal done. 2 first-round picks, likely to be toward the tail end of the first round, right? And Adonai Mitchell. We can talk about Adonai Mitchell for a minute. Thank you, Carly. Well put, Patrick. Carly, you can't tell me that the change of ownership didn't have something to do with the immediate aggression of this team in getting better. Mooney Ward signing as a free agent, Cam Bynum signing as a free agent, and Daniel Jones signing early in free agency in March. And then this, all of a sudden, boom. We don't get a lot of booms. We don't get a lot of mic drop deals at the trade deadline. One deadline deal in Chris Ballard's previous 8 years, that was Nyheim Hines. Right, Nyheim Hines on the way out. And that was by his request, for God's sake. Inspirate says, Carly, say Gordon for owner of the year. I think she's doing a hell of a job so far. 7-2. We'll see what this means. Does this give Latu the extra quarter second he needs to be able to go get opposing quarterbacks? With he and Ward on the field at the same time, with Bynum manning the back end and Kenny Moore in the slot, does this become the best secondary in the National Football League? If all those guys stay healthy, can this team win a Super Bowl? It bears mention that not only did Mooney Ward have a concussion, but so did Sauce. Sauce coming off a concussion. I wonder if he's got his passport in order and he's going to be able to make the trip to Berlin for the game on Sunday. Have the Colts had a corner like Sauce before? I don't think so. I can't think of one. They did have Vontae Davis, and Vontae Davis was really good, but I don't think like Sauce Gardner. And they've definitely not had guys on either side, bookend corners like Sauce Gardner and Mooney Ward. Reed Bannon says, we'll see more man-to-man now that we have Sauce. And you may see man-to-man exclusively. And you got two guys who are lockdowns, right? You got this guy and that guy, and you got Kenny Moore, who can do a hell of a job and can bind them over the top. Where are you going to throw the football, and where are you going to run the football? All of a sudden, I'm really excited about this team. I'm excited about this secondary for the first time ever. Like, you look at when the Colts won the Super Bowl, right? Didn't they have Marlon Jackson and Kelvin Hayden as cornerbacks? They're all right. I like Marlon Jackson a lot. Nice guy. But these two guys are flat out tremendous game-changing corners who are going to make it really, really, really difficult for opposing quarterbacks to find an open receiver. And then when you've got Grover Stewart and DeForest Buckner in the middle of that defensive line, good luck running up the middle, because that isn't going to happen. What did the Steelers do running the football on Sunday? They did not do a hell of a lot. Nobody's done a hell of a lot running the football against the Colts. Maybe that was because teams were choosing to throw against guys like Jalen Jones and, the other guys who have, you had Jonathan in there. You had other guys at corner that you felt like, well, we'll see if we can coach them up and get some decent play. You don't have to coach up Sauce Gardner and Mooney Ward. They're going to be able to do a good job right out the crate, and that defense is going to become stout immediately. This is a tectonic shift in style of management and hopefully in result, right? Because the Colts, since Ballard took over the reins as GM, you've gone to the playoffs twice. You haven't hosted a playoff game. You've won one playoff game. You haven't won an AFC South. This was really the most mediocre franchise maybe in the NFL. And then all of a sudden this year they're 7-2 and they're getting a little bit salty and they make this deal to go get Sauce. And all of a sudden, like you're behind your eyes, you're getting all sparkles. Right, your brain is having a difficult time interpreting all the good that can come from this trade, beginning this weekend, knock wood, against the Atlanta Falcons. Because the Falcons, you got Drake London. Drake London is a real weapon. And if you've got a guy like Sauce Gardner who can get off the plane and cover Drake London, that makes the Falcons a lot less worrisome from an offensive perspective. Yeah, you got Penix. And yeah, you've got Bijan Robinson. Yeah. But without Drake London being an every down threat, all of a sudden you start thinking maybe this team can win a championship. Maybe this team, for the first 8 years, they didn't feel like they had a championship recipe roster-wise, and now they do. And so they're making deals like this and thinking, all right, we're going to go. We're going to be what the Rams did. The year that the Rams won the Super Bowl, they made trades and they lifted. Colts, if I'm the Texans, if I'm the Jaguars, I'm thinking, no. The Colts finally figured this shit out, and here they come. I am loving this. I think this is an awesome deal. You know what? Whether it works out or whether it doesn't work out, I don't even care. I want it to work out. I'm just happy that these guys got off the schneid, got off the dime, and started doing something that shows that they got a little in them, right? Let's go. What number will Sauce wear? You know what? 10's a good number. Unless he buys number 1 from Josh. I don't know whether you can do that, though. I don't know what the rules are about that. But Adonai Mitchell going out, Sauce Gardner coming in, wear 10. Nothing wrong with 10. Adonai Mitchell, I don't think that the Colts are going to regret putting him in this deal. I don't think that 4 years from now you're going to look at it and say, oh, man, we shouldn't have added AD to that deal. I like this. There's got to be accountability. There's got to be a consequence. The consequence for Adonai Mitchell is a plane ticket out of town. dropping the football like he did, cost his team a game. You can't have that. You've got to at some point say, no more. We're done with this crap. This guy, he got to go. Nice guy. All right. You know what? Goodbye. You drop the football before you get into the end zone without building some equity first. Not lost on me that Jonathan Taylor did damn near the same thing. But there's a hell of a big difference between Jonathan Taylor and the equity he built prior to screwing that up in Denver last year and A.D. Mitchell doing it on the road against the Rams. Huge difference. A.D. Mitchell last year as a rookie, how many times did he get alligator arms? Happened on the regular. This year, not so much, but they're not throwing to him that much. And so he gone, and we don't have to worry about that anymore. They got guys, right? I'm happy with Doolin. I thought Doolin did a great job the week that Mitchell was out. That didn't bother me at all. But Gardner coming in, pairing him with Ward, beginning with that game in Kansas City, I think that is absolutely huge, enormous, and the Colts going to make him feel welcome right out the gate. Have a great day. Enjoy yourselves. Become a member today. Become a subscriber today. Make your deal for better media. All right, let's go.